Hey guys, thanks for tuning into another video. I saw a link to this on Twitter, and I decided to do a video on it after briefly skimming it. I'm going to read it, but I'm not going to show you the article itself. It's on Screen Rant. It's from August 23rd, 2023, because look what Screen Rant does. Like, I have Firefox, and look what it does to it. There's so many ads that it just wrecks. You can't even read the article. Look, it's blocking stuff. It's just an absolute mess. I guess they intend on people just using their phone. So I'm not going to actually go through this article with you visually. I'll just put some other stuff on the screen, but I'm going to read it word for word exactly what it says, and we'll go from there. So the title is Star Wars Has Broken George Lucas's one and only rule after 46 years. One and only rule. Okay. I think they've broken a lot of rules, an awful lot of rules, and they have wrecked canon in so many different ways, but I have so many videos on that, it's tons of them. But anyways, so Ahsoka has broken one of George Lucas's core rules by changing the confines of the known Star Wars galaxy, and here's what it means for the future. Before Star Wars opening crawl rolled across the screen, George Lucas introduced audiences to his one core rule of this franchise, that it exists in one galaxy far, far away. But now that has changed, as Disney Plus's Ahsoka is taking viewers on a journey into a second galaxy, one that is also far, far away. So far, in fact, Morgan Elsbeth and her cronies had built a massive version of the hyperspace transport rings the Jedi used during the Clone Wars to get to this new galaxy. Every entertainment franchise evolves, with each release introducing something new or changing something that had been done in the past. Star Wars is no different. Though it was never properly explored on screen, the known regions were Disney's first real attempt at pushing past the boundaries of the known Star Wars universe. The unknown regions. Exegol was another attempt in the Star Wars Rise of Skywalker, but it wasn't enough. And after the cliffhanger series finale of Star Wars Rebels, in which Grand Admiral Thrawn and Ezra Bridger disappeared after jumping into hyperspace, there was no better time to introduce a galaxy in the Ahsoka, a new galaxy than in Ahsoka, a show that reunites them. And there you go. There you go. This is why I don't like the cartoons, you guys. They're going to use live action shows, well they are, to explain nonsense in cartoons. So because Grand Admiral Thrawn went somewhere, we're going to just add another galaxy in there. Why? There's no point in doing this. You could just have them somewhere in the unknown regions, right? I mean, there's the galaxy. What they've done, what Disney has done, is they have shrunk the existing galaxy with their content. We have shows and movies where people are going to multiple planets in a matter of hours or a day, which spits in the face of Star Wars. George Lucas created this massive galaxy where it took a really long time to get different places. You didn't just get there instantly. It's not like driving down the highway to the next town, but that's what they've effectively done now. In the past movies, when someone was committed to a certain location, they were committed to it. It's not like they just up and left like they do now. They just go all over the place now. There's no thought like, oh, that's really far or whatever. They like in the OT, for example, they pretty much commit to a planet for the movie. Basically, maybe they shift at some point, or during the movie they go from one place to another, but they're pretty committed. They've shrunk it, so now we have to make a new galaxy because we've shrunk the existing one into so small that now, and then we're Grand Admiral Thrawn in Rebels, the cartoon, we'll use that as an excuse to have another galaxy, and there's really no point in doing this, and so I don't know why, but we'll see what this article has to say though. Listen to this. So this is where it gets really stupid. In Ahsoka Episode 2, Toil and Trouble, Morgan Elsbeth met the series' villains Baylan Skoll and Shin Hati on the planet Cetos, where they used an ancient structure to unlock the star map Ahsoka took from the Night Sisters' temple. The map revealed a location and a path to get there in another galaxy. Baylan called it the Pathway to Peridia, a fairy tale that the Jedi younglings would tell each other. Despite rooting this reveal in Star Wars history, it breaks established canon. Nothing on this scale has ever been attempted in actual Star Wars canon, and certainly not on screen. And it was a Night Sister ball. The Treasure Planet ball was a Night Sister ball. They're going to use this to explain the Night Sisters, basically, is what this article is insinuating. Lucas's phrasing of Star Wars taking place in a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away was simple enough to entice viewers and separate the franchise's otherworldly power from reality. See, now you have a problem now. Now, when you have an opening crawl for episode 10, for example, you're going to have to say a long time ago in galaxies far, far away. You're going to have to now. And then, I wouldn't be surprised someday down the line when they're just like hemorrhaging, they'll be like, oh, we can skip to another galaxy and look, it's the galaxy the Marvel superheroes are in. Honest to God, I would not put it past them. Like that's how dumb these people are. The phrase galaxy far, far away has grown to mean something literal, that it does take place in a galaxy far from the Milky Way. Well, yeah, that's the whole point. Lucasfilm toyed with exploring areas outside of the known galaxy a few times before, but famously in the comic in which Han Solo and Chewbacca came to Earth in the Millennium Falcon. But then in Legends there were, which is stupid too, and then in Legends there were the Huzon Vong and some sporadic mentions of aliens, but again, nothing to this extent of literally introducing a new galaxy, one where Thrawn and Ezra are supposedly marooned. See, these people are having an awful time keeping continuity as it is. Now we're going to introduce another galaxy? It's just going to be a mess. How Peridea and this new galaxy affects Star Wars' future. Rosario Dawson and Ahsoka introducing a second galaxy and a planet apparently called Peridea is undoubtedly intriguing to all Star Wars fans, but it's only the beginning. Tying this second galaxy to Morgan Elsbeth and the Night Sisters of Dathomir will give Star Wars the ability to explain the Night Sisters' magic powers. Up until now, there was no real plausible explanation for why a group of people on a random planet can use magic outside of the Force. The Night Sisters come along and they're basically Nightcrawler from Excalibur and X-Men, and then they have basically Nightcrawler. They have all of Nightcrawler's powers, and they have green lights and green like visual magic that you can see, which I always hated. And now we haven't explained that, so now we're going to add another galaxy and they're going to explain the Night Sisters' powers. I just think this is so stupid and lame. Like, and then there's there's the Purrgil, a spacefaring species that somehow has the ability to traverse hyperspace. If Thrawn and Ezra are really in the second galaxy, is that where the Purrgil came from? Is there power on this other galaxy that not only grants people magic powers, but can also give animals the ability to jump into hyperspace? Again, another really lame idea that Filoni put in frickin' Rebels. I mean, I know a lot of you guys like it. Some of you are going to be mad at me for this, but these ideas are dumb and unexplained, so now we're going to add another galaxy to explain them, and the opening crawl is going to sound dumb. All because we had to have Thrawn and Ezra disappear, and, hyperspace whales took them somewhere. Like, oh my gosh. That is just... It's gone so far from what it was originally. And I'm not saying the prequels were perfect either. They weren't. They have problems. But this is getting just beyond stupid. Beyond story developments, this is a crucial moment for Star Wars. People have grown tired of the same story repeating over and over again, with the same characters, same villains, and same plot points, and even the same planets. Oh, I agree with that, but that was their decision. Filoni was part of the story group, but Filoni was part of that. He was part of that decision to have Tatooine over and over and over again. And this article's acting like they did that unknowingly or something. They did it to save money. It's a lot cheaper to shoot movies in the California desert than it is to make elaborate sets like what they had for Naboo and stuff like that. Tatooine can only appear so many times before it's no longer the place that's farthest from the center of the universe. Well, yeah, because it was supposed to be basically a backwater planet that nobody knew about, and then Disney, these same people, made it known to everybody with their stupid shows like Kenobi, and now we have to correct that? So, they're correcting their own stupid mistakes. Disney Star Wars is garbage. So with the introduction of the new galaxy, Lucasfilm can take the franchise somewhere new. Dave Filoni is working on a movie that ties together all the shows in the Mandalorian story arc. Perhaps this is where it will take place, and if it doesn't, there's so much potential in opening up a new corner of the universe. Everyone's questions from magic of ancient species like the Zepho and Rakatan can potentially be answered in the second galaxy. So we're going to have a second galaxy to correct our stupid mistakes that we made writing-wise, and we're going to foist upon you another galaxy which breaks George Lucas's canon because we screwed up and wrote crappy shows and movies, and so we're going to fix our screw-ups. That's literally what they're doing. If this article has any truth to it, and I would bet dollars to donuts it does, all it's doing is just correcting their own dumb mistakes and their stupid writing. I mean, the idea that there isn't enough in one galaxy to write interesting stories. It's not my fault that they keep rehashing the same characters. That's their decision. I didn't do that. They didn't have to do that. They could have introduced new characters. They could have made things differently. They could have told different stories. They didn't have to do a Kenobi show. That was their decision. Most of us were perfectly happy thinking that he was just there guarding Luke, because that's what George Lucas wrote. And that's what we assumed was going on. But you guys are the ones that inserted Vader again for the 15th time. And you guys did this. I mean, honestly. So it's basically just a giant circle. It's the snake eating its own tail. And they're just going to keep doing this. It's going to get dumber and dumber and dumber. I'm telling you guys. This is going to get so stupid. And all of this based on a mediocre to crappy cartoon. And I'm sorry, they're mediocre to crappy. And they're Dave's little project. Like, Ahsoka has to be alive because Dave loved Ahsoka and wrote Ahsoka in Clone Wars, so we can't kill her. Oh, she's not around during the OT? Oh, we'll have to make up a story for that. Let's do a show about that where she's stranded on a planet. So it's them writing dumbness for their own dumbness. It's dumb upon dumb. This is like the worst writing since day one when these people took over this franchise. It is a disaster, and this is just even more stupidity. Anyways, guys, thanks for listening to my rant. If you enjoy this content, please like and subscribe. I got tons of other videos on my channel as well. You can check that out anytime. Thanks for listening, and have a good day.